it's back. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and one of the biggest, best, and one of my most favorite city builders of all time, Farthest Frontier, is back here on the channel. So welcome aboard, and good to see you all here, locked in, clocked in, and ready for more as we dive into all the things that have changed since our last playthrough in early April of 2024. It's been well over a year and a half since we played this one. At least it feels like 2 years, actually, since we played it, but it'll be over almost 2 years when the game comes out later in September of 2025 or October, I don't know. Anyway, it's over a year since we thought it would release in August of last year, and so we kind of played it back in April to see if it would come out, and then I've been avoiding it because I don't know, I was all confused as to all the different dates, and even now I am, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on the notification bell for more as we start ourselves a new settlement here today, probably in pioneer mode, to derust from all the things in Farthest Frontier. Of course, we can have 3 different difficulties or our very own custom settings for this one, where of course it's warning us, hey, you may not want to do that or whatever, because it'll be a little more difficult. Of course, map sizes too, and we can even name our towns as well. So anyway, glory to Raptoria down below in the comments section, and let's go ahead and get started. We're going to roll these maps, find a very good map to start on, and then I will see you in the frontier. Thanks again, everybody, for all the support and love. Become a member today if you haven't already. Click that join button and become a member. Name highlighted in green, badge next to your name, much more. Let's get going with Farthest Frontier. Well, here it is, a fresh new map in Farthest Frontier, and look at that, a gorgeous lake with almost like a bridge area there. Cool. Hey, we got a big mountain. Looks like there's iron and coal and all sorts of things around there, and it looks really defendable too. On this east side, a small little narrow passage. Here in the south, we have a lake with another passage here between the 2 lakes. And then on the west side, about the same, a little wider there, but certainly we're defended on like 3 sides, and we have our mountain here as well. Looks like plenty of deer and fish, and lots of plants for us to eat as well. Things like cabbage, and also look to be like a lot of berries around too. In fact, I saw quite a few right here. They're not ripe yet. We're starting in the spring, but pretty soon those blueberries will be ready to harvest. And look at this, our folks are walking around here. It's like they're saying, hey, build right here, which we should, because that is some perfect flat land right there, and lots of clay around too. Look at these huge deposits. Now, unfortunately, there's an unlimited clay deposit there, but we're probably not going to, you know, use that one. We're going to build our town there. I don't see any else around, but we could definitely import more, and we'll be able to find a lot more. There's some right over there. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and get started then. That's everything we need, and as you can see on the left side, foraging sources, everything that's around us to begin with. We don't have everything, but we do. It's just not within range, but it's pretty close. So let's go ahead and put this town center right about here. I think that'll be a good spot right here, and let's begin. Here we go. Ooh, things are plopping down. I can hear it. The wagon is rolling in. There it is. Perfect. All right, so we got our little wagon here, and the townsfolk are making their town center. We're going to go ahead and immediately ask for trees to start being cut down all around. And yes, there is a housing shortage right away. Everybody wants their home. So let's dictate all these trees to be cut down. There we go. Everything in the area can be pretty much chopped down. We're going to turn this all into farmland and houses eventually. I do want to keep some trees, though, for the deer and a few things like eggs to spawn. We're also going to need some stone, but we won't need too much of it. We'll just get a little bit off the top of the hill here. What a great militarily sound HQ. It's really nice to be able to build up on this hill. Go ahead and build a road this way. And then I think we should be able to build another road. I think we'll do like a kind of like an avenue here. We could build it like this down this way. Let's build it maybe down to there. Perfect. Roads just take a little bit of time to build, but no real resources. Oh yeah, they're getting that stuff done quick. And we need some houses. Oh, we need houses unlocked after we get the town center unlocked. Looks like there's nothing else we can build quite yet. It looks like there is. We have some things to build, like the forager shack. That'd be great over here. Again, look at all those berries. And oh, some deer there too. We could put the hunting shack. And it looked like there was a shoal of fish nearby up there, so we could definitely go fishing up there too. So that's going to be perfect for our food gathering area at the start. Go ahead and put one of those down to begin. Looks like there's way more eggs and things around too, so we can build multiple foragers to take advantage of all that. We really don't want to cut these down for the first couple of years. Farming will be a kind of a priority, but with all this food and especially all these berries around, I think we'll be all right. And of course, we can move these blueberry bushes around too, which will be really nice. Ooh, rainstorm. We're going to see some lightning, I think. Let's go ahead and move our storage cart over here. Our little Oregon Trail wagon. And we're going to start building over here as well. So this acts as kind of a mobile warehouse. Very, very slow, but you don't want that to be destroyed. Kind of protected would be a good idea. Luckily, I didn't see any enemy camps around. No wolves or anything that could threaten us so far. And, yep, villagers unhappy because of a lack of housing. Well, let's make sure everybody's prioritized on the construction here. And, in fact, let's take a look at our villager professions tab. We'll go ahead and assign more people to, well, pretty much everybody to building if we can. Let's take a look at some of these new things down here. Crop summary, which I hadn't seen before. It allows us to take a look at the total count of fields, and wow, look at the estimated yearly yield. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's pretty cool. And then of course we have our professions tab, settlement items tab, happiness, military companies, that's new to me as well. Capacity, monthly cost, things breaking down cavalry and infantry. And back to our crop summary. Oh, look at this. Excellent. We have our achievements as well. So we have an option to prioritize civic, survival, production, and military achievements. Very nice. So I guess, yeah, basic Steam achievements there, like building your basic starter buildings. And then eventually building a thriving city. Very cool. Ooh, that was close. All right, a few more people to build that HQ. And while we're waiting for them, I'm also going to think about building a... let's see, a hunter shack down here. Maybe we'll build that across the street. We'll also need to build a smokehouse to be able to smoke meat such as fish and venison that we'll get from hunting deer. And a fishing shack too, which we could put maybe a little closer to the water. And there's probably going to be a few places to fish because there's lots of lakes. So we'll put that down there as well. Okay, they've finished building our town center. There it is, the beginning of our glorious empire. Go ahead and start plopping down some housing now, too. There we go. All part of the derusting process, folks. All right, we'll have to build 6 homes then for everybody to move into, and that's going to take a lot of logs. A lot of logs. We have none so far, but yeah, everything's being gathered for the first time. Okay, let's go ahead and reduce... let's see, go back down to 4. 8 laborers, so 4 of them are in construction. I think we're going to go down to 2 and let everybody else cut down trees, making logs, and then also gathering stone, which will be needed for some of the buildings too. A lot of things already happening. And the housing shortage continues. It probably will continue into the winter. It's crazily quick how fast this game goes into winter. Right now it's just mid-spring, so the early spring is already gone, but by the time you know it, next thing you know, it'll be right into winter. Autumn will be here. Continue our road down that way. And all the way down there. Okay. So let's continue to also ask for trees to be cut down here. Some of those trees seem dead. This seems to be like almost swampland, but I think that's a super fertile land down there. And we'll just kind of get some random trees here and there gathered. We'll need a forestry building soon. And it looks like some of the buildings are requiring stone. They're bringing everything over that they need. Excellent. So a lot of things have to be constructed all at once. I mean, there's urgency for things like firewood, their homes, food. Everything needs to be built all at once. It really does. Let's see, we have a graveyard we can build. Hopefully not yet. There's our stockyard. Resources here. We have our basic well and a firewood splitter. We should probably build that maybe down here. People don't really like living directly next to that, but what will require a lot of firewood is the smokehouse, so we'll build that firewood splitter there so it can supply the firewood directly to the smokehouse. That'll probably consume the most at the start. Constantly working. Housing is getting built. Excellent. And back to the wells. Ooh, there's a lot of great areas to build water. Look at that. To build a well. A water bonus, almost 100% down there. Crazy. I think I'll build a well down here at the bottom. And that'll give them the water they need too. Oh, very rainy late spring now. Late spring. Crazy. We can also, of course, build palisades and defenses in this game. And we can also build stone walls too. with the lakes around us that we saw earlier, I'm not going to really prioritize military walls yet, but a mobile force would be quite effective, including the hunters, which are pretty good at defending us against attacks from wild animals like wolves, or maybe even bears. Oh yes, bears are out there. Oh, look at that. There's a shoal of fish there and there. So that'll be good. Oh, good. The forager's ready to go. Ah, work areas. Excellent. There's a tutorial then on how to do all that stuff. Happy to see it. So the tutorial's still in, and it's still pretty solid. I appreciate the things that they've added. Kind of a small addition of things, but similar to what Manor Lord's been doing with the mentioning of adding new cards and perks that will hopefully come into the new update for that game as well. Again, yeah, Farthest Frontiers up there as well as Foundation, Ostrive, Manor Lords, all really, really good base builders, including Dawn of Man, although that, of course, is the earliest of all of them, going back to the essentially the beginning of time, the beginning of man, Dawn of Man. That's why. All right, houses are a little slow to build. If this were Manor Lords, we probably, if it were this time already, late spring, we would absolutely already have these houses up and be doing some farming. But this is cool. Blueberry bushes are now available. And this building can finally be upgraded to Tier 2 if we get our Forager Shack upgraded at Tier 3 Town Hall. So that'll be cool. That'll give us a lot of extra bonuses for sure. What do we have in storage for food already? We've got, oh, lots of smoked meat and also preserves. So something to prevent scurvy and also great smoked meat for getting us through the winter months. We've got maybe about 2 years of supply. Oh yeah, here, 21 months. And that's going to dwindle and then plummet because more people are going to move into this town very quickly. So we'll have to make sure that we keep an eye on them. I'm going to prioritize building all the homes first. Get that happiness up and get some more people moving in. We got to get things done before the end of the year. At least we have some berries coming in. So some food variety will be good. And the major thing that will attract them is additional home space and then way more food than we need. An abundance of food will give them the confidence they need to join us. Love to see all these clay deposits down here. This will be great to sell a lot of that at the start. And of course there's another deposit over there. Really great to see so many abundant resources. Ah, there they go. Now they're getting started. Now they're getting started. Our first home about to go up. Perfect. So I think if we hit left control when we build, it gives us a top-down view. Oh yeah, that's quite nice. So it gives us like a direct top-down view. Very cool. All right, they're removing tree stumps. They're still building the road, removing brush, flattening land, bringing supplies to where they got to go. And we could probably build a road down here this way as well. Perfect. All right, we'll build maybe around this way. Build it all square to start with. Keep it simple. Okay, so yeah, we got our fishing shack down there. We've also got our hunter, smoker, forager, all good. Okay, what can we build next? What do we have for decorations, by the way? We should take a look at any and all new buildings. These have been added a while ago. Deep mines for things like sand and coal. Additional decorations have also been plugged in a while ago. New types of hedge and fence. These are newer, but not the newest. Man, we need some more walls in this game too. We need more variety for walls. Otherwise, I'm going to have to mod it. I hope they show off some cool 1.0 walls. Bookbinders. These are some things I've not yet been able to build. Quarry, bookbinder, paper mill, and all of our playthroughs, we've not yet been able to build stuff like that. We've got chicken coops. Oh, those are new. Okay, good. Goat barns. These are things that I haven't yet either built or don't remember from previous updates. Yeah, vaults have been around for a while. Of course, our temporary shelter. We've got our crypt, guild halls. Some things we haven't been able to build yet either. Okay, hey, houses are done, and now they're requiring some firewood. Well, maybe not. An impending heat wave is on the way. Well, good thing we're not farming. That shouldn't affect us too badly. Maybe people will want more water, but I guess we'll have that well up ready to go. And there it is. The well is more than ready to go. All well and good then. Let's go ahead and add another road here. down to the old fishing dock. Cool. And yeah, things just need to be transported around. Now, additionally, as you remember from many of our tutorials, we can move blueberry bushes. There's this little yellow button here next to the red X that does allow us to plant them somewhere else. Only blueberry bushes can be moved, though, not hawthorn or any other bushes from what I can remember. So these blueberry bushes can be put in some nice rows. You can gather all the blueberry bushes on the map and essentially put them in one spot, and it really helps to make preserves. I think you can make them out of wild berries, but then of course also peaches, pears, and apples, I think, are the three from the orchards that you can make. Let's see if they're still listed here under food production. We have a crop field. Maybe orchards are part of that. Actually, I think they're tied in with the arborist building, and then we click on that, and then there's more options there for that. But it does look like we're going to need some planks soon, too. I just remembered we'll probably need to make some planks after some storage. So let's also put down a stockyard, because where a lot of wood's going to be gathered and stored. So maybe we'll put that down here. And then next to that, we're going to need to put down a saw pit, which becomes unlocked after... Oh, after we build the stockyard. Okay. So that'll need to be down next. And then I believe the market is after that. Good. Lots of good room down there to build. And we'll just have to try to avoid destroying as much of those greens for the first few years, but that land will be claimed soon enough. A couple more homes getting done. There we go. Another one locked in. And we should have some more people moving in soon. We're at 12 out of 16 homes. 6 of them are adults, 6 are adolescent. In this game, too, people will have children, and of course, immigrants will move in all the time based on certain conditions. They can move in randomly throughout the year, but then also there's big movement as well. There's a yearly immigration wave to the town, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I thought this was going to be a lot slower, but there actually is quite a bit of things happening. Moving and shaking. More houses going up. 2 more homes. I think that'll be... I think our first goal is to build like 5 homes. Usually I do 6 because symmetry near the beginning of the game is pretty cool. Okay, they're still moving all those materials around. And we did make these a priority, so they have those exclamation points above them. Let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit. Let's get some more things done here. We're just kind of waiting for basic construction to complete. Let's also go ahead and harvest some more trees around the mountain. Oh, there we are. 3 villagers have immigrated and a baby was born. All right. Very nice to see. All right, we're low on firewood, and that'll be required for the winter. Appreciate the little tutorial there on that. So we'll need to increase wood production. Oh, they should move these alerts down so it doesn't cut that off. Well, not a big deal. All right, so if we're going to make firewood, we certainly need more wood. More wood is needed. So when construction is done, more people will go to gather those. Let's see, continue to cut down any trees that may have grown, as they do throughout the year. Trees will regrow randomly. Hey, look at that. More people wish to join the settlement. All right. More people await to join your settlement. Amass 4 months supply of food in 6 houses. Maintaining significant food stocks will help attract more people to your town. Very nice. Ooh. Big storms. Okay, so yes, more housing and more food. And then people will move in, and then things will move faster. Logs are being immediately used to construct new things, but that's good. We've got everything laid out, so everything will be built over time. Another house going up here, and 1 more log to be delivered to that other home there. Look at how shiny the clay is. I don't remember clay being that shiny. Oh, look at him go. People are moving and shaking. Let's go. Okay, we got 16 months of food now. Of course, that'll keep going down until we start increasing production. So future immigrants to the city will more than likely work at the hunting and fishing lodges. And there it goes. All right, cool. So now we'll just need the firewood stand up and probably get that done by late summer. Right now it's midsummer, So right at maybe early autumn, we'll have to worry about that. Oh, it looks like some of the homes are getting firewood too, but it must be being offloaded from the wagon. But there's probably a limited supply of that. Okay, what else can we work on while we wait? Do we need any more stones? Looks like it's all coming down to wood. More wood is needed. I just don't want to take from these big forests because this is where the deer are hiding out and also where birds' nests and nuts are. So that would hurt our food supply. So we're going to just try to randomly cut trees out in the meadows. Very pretty, very interesting map for sure. So all these buildings, in order to function, will need firewood too, and they'll need it throughout the winters to keep functioning. That's cool. Oh yeah, excellent. The smokehouse is going up next. Good. Things are getting done. People have homes now, so happiness is skyrocketing. Looks like they're very happy, but of course their needs will increase over time. And those other immigrants will want to move in as soon as we've figured out our food situation. Let's also worry about hunting. So we've got some deer, a great amount of deer there in the forest. Make the firewood splitter our next building too to keep that functioning, as well as the fishing. And our forager's doing a good job already gathering a ton of nuts, berries, and greens, so trying to keep that number up. And there's even more down here too. We can make baskets in this game, I recall. I think we'll need to have a forager gather those, and then we need a basket maker under, I think, resources somewhere. Should be a tier 1 building. Ah, there it is, the basket shop. So we'll need the saw pit to be built before that's done. And yeah, everything needs to be done. Everything all at once. So then we'll do the saw pit there. Hey, a group of immigrants are moving in. That is a group that is hustling. They want to move in. That must be the previous goal complete for these folks here. Perhaps. All right, that's going to be more workers for us. So that means more land cleared quickly. And look at that. The trees are already starting to turn color. Autumn is on the way. There it is. Early autumn. Year 1. Moderate temperature, moderate breeze. Okay. It's going to be a big push now to survive. We definitely want these people to immigrate. So 6 have arrived. Let's accept them. And they should immediately have homes. And they'll go get toasty and warm, as apparently there was a heat wave. Maybe not so much anymore. It did say moderate temp, though. Okay. So now let's get people working over on these buildings. They're almost done. Bustling market would generate gold and attract new settlers to our growing town. Market stock houses and generate gold based on the number of houses in their work area. Okay. So it's going to be important for us to build planks or make a saw pit in order to make planks to then make the market. So that's how that's going to have to go. We might not even have the market available until next year. First is just to make sure everybody's fed and warm. Top priority. All right, firewood there. I think that can employ 2 people, from what I can recall. I'm just seeing if anything else is magically unlocked for us. Don't want to miss anything. Don't want to close my eyes. Hey, wait a minute, pal. Did you just click to the middle of this video without watching the beginning intro and or how we got started to get to this point? You jump right back to the beginning there, mister. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button, too, to show some love to Raptoria. It's good to have you all here. And look at that. We're celebrating with some... Is that... Wait. Those are leaves. That's so cool, isn't it? I thought we were having a parade. I thought we were having like a ticker tape parade or something. Look at that. Cool. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. It's good to be back. It's really cool. I need to derust a little bit before we do our wonderful tutorial series. I want to remake all the videos I had before. 1, to just re-upload them again so they're fresh within the YouTube algorithm. And 2, well, because they're just really fun to make and there could be some subtle changes to the UI. And I want everybody to be on the same page. The concepts are all the same, like with the blueberries and getting started. But it'll be good to make a new, fresh video again. And I tremendously love this game. Again, as well as the other ones I mentioned. Ostrieve, Manor Lords, Foundation Banished, many more. Okay, we're critically low on firewood, so that's going to be our next priority. That, in fact, is our top priority building. Let's also get the fishing hut going. And have that lady go work over there. Perfect. She'll be bringing in some food soon, too. And we have a year's worth of food, so we should be able to get through the winter. We just need to be able to survive it with the warmth. So let's get that building up. Folks, oh no, they're building... Come on, guys. You're building this building? I told you to build that one. We need the firewood. You're the one complaining about it. All right. They're getting it done. Perfect. Okay. Let's assign 2 people to there. And we have 5 logs in storage. So what we're going to do now is try to go again to get any other trees that have grown in the time during the summer. I think we got them all, though. And there does seem to be a lot of great stuff to forage over here, too. So we could build another forager there just for the hawthorn berries. It'd be nice if we could set seasonal areas, you know? Like, go harvest here in the summer, here in the spring, you know? Be nice. I would like to build another forager, but I want them to save all their logs now for firewood. And that'll get our smoker up as well. So now fish will be coming in as well as deer. So we'll have lots of meat, fish and deer meat. Maybe they also, I always see it as they're not just gathering deer, but they could be shooting anything like game birds or ducks or, I don't know, wild chickens, turkeys, whatever grows in these wild farthest frontiers. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely deer being sighted. And they also can lay traps. And so I guess rabbits and other smaller creatures they could nibble on. All good. Ooh, look at that. The white smoke in these buildings. This is another thing I love about this game. The white smoke coming out of the buildings indicating that they have firewood. And then some of the heavier industries will have black smoke when you start to burn coal. So foundries, blacksmiths, armor makers. They'll all have, of course, big furnaces that will have to be brewing all the time. All right, there we go. So double on the firewood production. Beautiful. And now we've got 20 firewood. And everything seems to be functioning in the nick of time. Late autumn. Beautiful. Good stuff. Okay, and how do we do for housing? 24 out of 24, so there's definitely going to be more of a need for more homes. Let's slow down time now, and we'll get right to that. And for now, we're going to build houses back to back, but we should be building them with like a little bit of space between them. But we can always move these homes later. So we're going to double our housing capacity, so more people can move in, especially in the spring. And we're going to want to feed those people. So let's go back to food production and more of the forager shacks. We'll probably build that like down here because there's a lot of good stuff at the bottom. Might even build a second one. There's so many. In fact, I think we should do that. There's so many little things of food. It's just that good. This land is so fertile. Okay, I'm going to prioritize 2 of the homes first. And the foragers, you know, in the wintertime, there's not much to forage for. So they'll just kind of have to be done whenever. Okay. Excellent. And then we'll have a road there, too. And this person has nothing to smoke, I think, at the moment. But they should come in. Oh, actually, wait. 12 meat. 32 meat. And then 1 firewood, to which we have 11. But it says they're missing meat and fish. Maybe there's a maximum. Well, it does say 20 and 20. And they should be doing both meat and fish. It's kind of cool. You can prioritize one smokehouse to only do meat and another one only to do fish. So you could build one attached to each of the buildings to constantly produce. There is our first little bit of snow. All right, we are going into survival mode, everybody. All right, the first winter begins. Can we survive? Will we have enough firewood? Will bears attack? Will there be a giant avalanche down the mountain? I don't know. Who knows? More deer up there. Fish. More berries there. Lovely. The hawthorn berries last for a long, long time. Those we're going to have to take advantage of too. Oh, another home complete. Excellent. Housing up to 28 now. 4 families or 4 people per home, it looks like. Build a well nearby. Well, we got one down there. I guess they want us to build one a little closer. They don't want to walk that far. Fine. I think that's under resources. Oh, it looks like it services an area within the white square. So maybe we could put it right there. Well, that would service all the houses for sure. And we could decorate that area too. One thing I like to do with wells is just put like a couple of potted plants and things around them just to make them look nice. It does look nice. It will look nice, for sure. All right, let's continue to cut down trees. And actually, a few more stones. We might need a few of those for future buildings. I'm going to try to get stones not too close to the camp. I see a few here, actually. We want them close to the camp. We do. Not too far from the camp. There we go. Ooh, did I hear someone die? Death to exposure. Our villagers have succumbed to the bitter cold due to their lack of shelter or sufficient warmth. Now that's interesting. We do have 15 firewood. And we do have plenty of housing. So we had 24 out of 28 homes, and we did have 15 firewood, and all the homes were indicated to be okay. Interesting. Well, that's good. We can at least show off what to do when somebody dies to death. Typically that doesn't happen, but you know, I'm derusting, so it's all good. Let's go ahead and build a graveyard all the way over here then. We'll explore these lands over this way. Oh, actually, let's connect here to this little road. Bring out your dead! Yeah, so we can build crypts, but also graveyards too, and we'll need that, especially when bandits start attacking. When there are raids on the camp, that's when things are going to go crazy. We're going to have our people go over here. I believe we are surrounded by water on most of these sides, though. So maybe we'll go up here. Looks like we can make a maximum of 75 length road. Okay, as they build that road, they'll go explore. And we're out of wood, but I can still hear them cutting down trees. There's still plenty of orders to cut down plenty of trees. Let's make sure there's none here. We'll cut down those trees too. We'll give orders to cut down trees on the border, and we'll also be able to explore a little bit around us if they go to the edge. Just like with Monster Jam. Seats are only 10 bucks, but you'll need the edge. Yeah, Monster Jam. You remember. Okay. Well, that's going to be a lot of trees to cut down. So that's interesting. We're playing on an easier difficulty. I'm derusting. We had plenty of firewood and shelter, and so there was a death. So I wonder if perhaps maybe death is a little more common now, which is like, but maybe they also made it so that way immigrants and childbirth is more common too. One of the hardest things in this game is to increase your population after a certain point. You'll have so many people dying of old age and natural causes, bear attacks, that it's really hard to keep up with how many people you need just to function. And then, of course, you always want to be growing because there's always a new industry, a new demand, a new something. All right, more houses are being built there. More firewood being produced. Logs, I guess, are immediately being used for home construction. We'll speed time up here. We're now in early winter. We should start seeing some snow accumulate on the ground and stay for the long haul until I think March approaches, when we have an end of spring. End of winter. Spring will begin. Spring has sprung. Oh, I can hear them working on our road there. They're getting some of those trees out of the way. Get rid of that big old stone there. Ah, and there comes the snow. Look at that. I believe in this game, too, it accumulates first on the highest parts of the map, and then eventually goes all the way down to the bottom, and then reverse. When it becomes springtime, it starts to melt in the opposite, which is really cool. Oh, there's that deep clay deposit. Oh boy, wolves. That sound always comes around in the winter. Nothing to be too concerned about. Bum, bum. Let's see if we can keep building that away. Little by little, we'll expand that direction. And everybody should be assigned to laboring. Most people should. Just a few people on construction. Yeah, we need more materials. 55 firewood is pretty good, though. Oh, this person is making smoked meat and smoked fish. So it's happening, but it could be a little better. Also, I think fishing completely stops in the winter, so you could absolutely micromanage your fishing shacks if you want to, but I'm all right for now. Hunting continues, though. We're making lots of pelts from that, and lots of meat too. Man, they're still mining that rock. That's crazy. What if we could prioritize road construction? I don't think we can. Another deer sighting up there. There's also a function to make our people go to the edge of the map and explore. There's a button down here called Set Exploration Point. And I can do that and someone will go up there. So we'll go ahead and do like a three-pronged approach to finding out what's up there, and we'll build our graveyard on that side. Oh, lots of firewood, lots of firewood. Maybe the first guy died of old age. Luckily, I think we got everything we need. Done in year 1. Alright. So I think if we also build over where the deer, I believe they might migrate to a different location nearby. Manor Lords does that too, where it kind of changes the spawn point where animals will be. Okay. Oh good, another forager down there is ready. One more to go. Another home is almost ready, bringing us up to 44 at the moment. And I think we've doubled our housing. Yeah, we built 3 more here and 3 more there. So from 6 to 12, I believe. Oh good, people exploring up here for us. More deer. More hawthorn. More clay. No surprise there. And a perfect spot to build our graveyard right here, I think. We'll build a road that kind of goes right through it. And spring has sprung. We have survived successfully the first year. Year 2 begins. Now let's build our graveyard. We'll slow down time a little bit. We need to take advantage of the spring as much as possible. And let's build this thing. Wow, lots of stone will be needed for this. Let's go ahead and go with the... let's see, that's a 5. We'll do a 5x5 there, then I can build like a little road between. We can make like a large cemetery where it's multiple plots kind of together. We'll start with a 5x5 first. Not too crazy. Alright, so they're going to mine those stones, build those roads. We've got firewood coming in, and less of it should be used now that we're in the spring. And now we got to get working on raw wood. We got to get that done. So let's go ahead and make our saw pit. Then we can make our market too. Put that there. So we'll need some raw logs to be cut into lumber. That'll be nice. 3 more logs needed there to complete that construction of the well. I believe it is. Basic well site. Okay. Alright, so all of our homes are ready. A little more to do here and there. And a big old construction site up there too. Alright, now it is spring, so likely people will immigrate to the town in the spring. And also more babies will be born randomly. I feel like it's random throughout the year. I think there's some rules and logic to it, but to me it always felt random. Like, ooh, childbirth out of nowhere. How lovely. Okay, we're going to expand that away and this away. And maybe eventually do some farming down here. There's an overlay for fertility for farming, and I forget exactly how to access some of those. We have statistics here, though. So we've got a year's worth of reports on how much grain, vegetables, dairy, luxury goods we have, agriculture, produced goods, and then our growth of our town. So we had 13 people immigrate to the town, 4 babies born, and someone passed away of exposure, it says, which is interesting because this game, at a certain point, you will have mines that are very far away from the town, and typically people don't pass away from exposure so long as you have all of those pelts turned into winter clothes. So that'll be a thing that we'll have to worry about in the future, is making sure everybody also has proper clothing in addition to the firewood, in addition to the shelter. All right, good. Now we've got foragers ready to go. More food means more people moving in, so we want more food. All right, and we got a lot of berries and nuts and things to gather over here too. Birds' nests. Yep, so eggs. Perfect. Exactly what we need. I'm so excited. Oh, very nice. This game needs a map editor, though. I hope in 1.0 we get that. We'll get bridges, of course, and many more little surprises, I think, await us for the 1.0. But I'm very happy that this game has been around for so long, and it not being out has kind of been super exciting, actually, now that it's finally here. I thought in August of 2024 this one would drop, and I was holding off. I played last time April 2024, so well over like a year and a half between playthroughs, and even that last time I felt like it was just kind of a partial playthrough because I didn't want to get so far because we were, you know, getting ready for 1.0. But now I'm like, no, I want to go all in, do what I can now, learn as much as I can, make helpful tutorials, and then have the full game come out and do it again. It'd be such a good feeling. Well, another spring, and this is probably when enemies will attack too. We got 8 months worth of food. Spring is always the time when food plummets because it was the longest time and when you had to like survive without it. Farming shuts down, animals don't produce as much, and you know, then there's also the foraging, and things like fish are not as available too. 3 more villagers immigrated. They did increase kind of how frequently villagers will come in. Good. Excellent, good. Wow, 25 logs needed for that. That's crazy. For the saw pit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue to... Remember to update every so often your tree gathering because random trees will grow in random places, so it's a good idea to do that. Okay, there's a lot of trees up here. I'm going to start taking from further away, I think. Alright, we'll leave those alone mostly. A lot of those trees are dead, but they will still provide firewood, if you think about it. And let's make sure we prioritize our graveyard, too. 31 stone will need to be over there. Let's get that done. It will take a while, though. Construction in this game does take a long time. It really does. So we're going to prioritize those 2 buildings, and let's add a few more people for construction. So let's see. Oh, there's our fertility, by the way. Ooh, that's super mega fertile there. Right there at the corner. Well, I thought this land would be super fertile. Kind of more swampy, maybe. There'll be plenty of fertile land. And we can also make fertile land by having cows, you know, turn it into a pasture and then do that. That would be great for farming here, though. A little farm, like maybe a carrot farm. In this game, we also need to worry about soil composition, so... whether it's composed more of sand or of clay, that will dictate what we grow there. I think cabbage prefers more clay soil and carrots prefer more sandy. But we can import those things once we start mining it. We can have them mix a bunch of stuff into the soil, which is pretty cool. Alright, we got a lot of firewood, almost too much. We can actually get these 2 off firewood production for now. We'll ramp that up again later. We're using a lot of logs, so let's have them put back into the log pool. And back to population management. Let's go ahead and put 6 people on construction. And everyone else should be working on logging or mining stone. Quarrying. Actually, let's undo that. Hold shift to undo. Gonna try to leave a little habitat for the deer. I'm not completely heartless. I wanna make sure they have a little home. We do need those logs, otherwise we die. Like Greg. Not from Bannerlords, but just this random character that I named in the game. His name is spelled G-O-O-U-R-G. Greg. Yeah, it's a different way to spell it. All those letters I mentioned are silent. Alright, more homes are constructed, or bridges... roads to those homes. Excellent. I can't wait for bridges, though. I was in the back of my mind thinking about connecting up there. Oh man, we got a lot of firewood. Alright, we're going to speed up time again. We'll leave that shut down for now. Additionally, there's a button up here you can press to like shut down a business, but I always just like to do it that way. I feel like for myself it's easier to see this symbol reminding me that there's nobody assigned there versus the pause button, which is this one. You can toggle a building off. I don't know. I don't see that one sometimes as much as I see this one. Like it's bright red and like, yeah, it's hard to miss that one. Food's going up. We're back up to 9 months. All that foraging must be paying off as well as the hunting and fishing. Good stuff. And we got people up here working on the graveyard. Oh, they're clearing the land out. Removing some bushes and flattening the land, I think, is next. Yep. So now they need to deliver 31 stone, and that'll be for a wall around the graveyard. If we don't do that soon, disease will spread. But it is very forgiving at the beginning of the game. So although it is urgent, it is not life-threatening, for lack of a better term, I guess. I don't know. Hey, there we go. 12 logs now. A couple being put over there at the saw pit. So saw pit will be this year's goal, as well as building a market, although we might not have too much to sell there. This game very much comes down to the Sierra city builder level of making sure every building is within a certain number of tiles of another building. So when we build our market, we'll have to make sure it encompasses all those homes there. So when you're building houses, it is a good idea to try to make them as cramped and together as possible at the start to make money. And then later on, when you get upgraded markets and things like that, then you can start using the move tool to spread things out a little bit. So you can click on a building. Now there's desirability too, so that'll be an important thing. That goes with what I mentioned about the markets and decorations. And you'll want to use this tool here, the relocate building location, to then spread them out a little bit and add room for decor, which will increase that desirability, getting you more tiers, which in order for us to get up to the next tier, we have to have the market built and then 60 wood planks in storage. And that's something we could pretty easily do. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And this map, there's not so many trees here, which will be a little bit of our a little bit of a hindrance, but we could absolutely build a forester soon enough and put more and more people towards cutting down trees. Just trying to grab anything that we've discovered now. Long way to go for wood, but it'll always be a constant battle with trying to get lumber, especially when we start making furniture. Oh boy, that's going to be a big one. Okay, I'm going to clip off a little tree here and there. Trees are paying taxes. They'll regrow, though. Don't worry. Okay, we got a year worth of food supply. That's great. People building as well. Long distance they have to go for building of that graveyard. But it always helps in the long run. Honestly, that's why I build graveyards so far out, is because a lot of this space becomes such a premium for decoration and desirability. I don't know if I don't think the crypt or anything like that provides desirability, but people will be happy knowing that a graveyard is built. And of course, there's also our shrine too, which adds to some of the earlier desirability too. But that'll take some gold to build once we've got it available from the market, and that also helps with desirability and happiness. Let's see what it says here about that. Okay, all right, still reminding us to do that. As soon as the graveyard is done, though, somebody comes over with a lavish wheelbarrow, and we'll dump off the body here in the graveyard. So that's hilarious. Only the finest treatment for our citizens. 31 out of 48. We could add some more homes while we wait. We'll add 3 more homes. Building storage full here at the forger. Oh, okay. Well, we better build ourselves a root cellar then. We can go ahead and plop one of those down. I think it's in storage. Forger shack. Here it is. Yeah, root cellar. Okay, so that'll be another good thing to put down. Now that we're starting to make enough food, we'll put a root cellar right there. So, dried fish, berries, all that stuff will go down in there. We'll start with one. I'll build another one on the other side later. And excellent, we've got our saw pit going. With 2 people working there and 4 people immigrated to the town. Great. Another baby has been born too. And we'll build our storehouse next to the saw pit there. Now that I remember too, they will rob. When we get raided, they'll rob from that storehouse. So I think what we'll do is we'll also put like a kind of a smaller wall around this place and some guard towers to protect these buildings, which are pretty important. Stockyard, not so important. It's just lumber and things like that, although important. Not as much as things like leather shoes and clothing that will be put there. Okay, so food storage and dry storage is going up. Good. Amenities, yep, okay. Now things are looking real nice here. We've got the night soil compost yard. Fletcher building 2 will be important. especially for our hunter at a certain point. And we do have the ability already to build the tower, but it'll cost us some gold. So the marketplace has to be our top priority. So the marketplace is there. We'll need to build that storehouse, then this here out of 30 in order to get that locked down. But planks will need a little bit of time to be created, and that's going to put a big strain on the log production. That building there taking half of them. Isn't that crazy? 24 remaining. Let's go ahead and speed up time. How fast can we go? Times 3 speed, it looks like. Overlay controls. Ooh. Oh, I see. Nice. We have desirability, different levels of fertility. Oh, there's even orchard fertility. Look at that. Nice. And water. Yeah, so you can see here for the orchards, that's completely dead there. But it looks like the orchards are pretty capable of growing almost anywhere. Almost. If their land is fertile, it's usually incredibly fertile. Other map types will make that more than likely not be the case. Alright, we got what we need to build our market. Good. So now, I think we'll remove that road there. We'll let these houses finish, and then we will move the market over a little bit. So I think we'll build a road here instead. Coming out of the town. So when they build those homes, we'll move those, and then we'll put the marketplace down so it can cover the most amount of homes. So this is kind of where practice from pre-planning comes in. But if we build our market right there, look at that. We have plenty of room to cover all those houses there on the top and right. And then we've got room to expand down here and to the left, which I think that's where we'll move the 2 homes that are being built now. So as soon as those folks are done with those, that's where we move them. Magical. But there's a lot of complex systems in this game, so it's nice that developers put that in, because if you're playing for the first time, or even if you're an advanced player, sometimes you could forget what exactly needs to be put where, or sometimes you need to let things go to see how they work out for defenses, to see if you can actually defend a certain area. And if not, then you need to put defenses there, which might mean you need to move some buildings. Okay, how do we destroy something? How do we destroy a road? Oh, we have to destroy it like that, huh? Delete dirt road. Sure. And again, nudging things around and fixing it is all part of the plan. There's kind of some curved roads in the game, too. It's not completely grid-based. It is kind of... There are the ability to make curved roads, so that's nice. A little bit. It's not like Manor Lords, but at least it's not fully square all the time. Alright, so a marketplace across from a well, going into yet another winter. I'd like to think things are going well. Oh, we got plenty of planks, too. Get our folks back on firewood now, as winter approaches. Winter is coming. Comment down below in the comment section. Winter is coming, and glory to Raptoria. If you haven't already, get it going. So good to see so many of you back for this wonderful series. I'm sure you're already loving it. You've loved so many before, and I bet this one will be no different. Who doesn't love themselves some Farthest Frontier? All right, 4 more people immigrating to the town. Great. 42 out of 56. And that additional house being put down, I think, will raise that further. Let's prioritize that market. The people will be so happy that that's up. And then again, we just keep rearranging the roads, redesigning, moving things around, adding decorations, upgrading roads from dirt to cobblestone. And that increases, I think, their movement speed. It might even increase the service area of certain buildings, maybe. I can't quite fully recall, but that's why I'm derusting. Oh, yes. The big derust. 6 planks. Let's get everybody in there. Get all the planks they need to get that work done on the marketplace. Ah, the graveyard is done, too. Our first resident should be moving in shortly. I don't know where that body went, but nobody knows. Should be a little gravestone though. One thing I think in this game is that they show different gravestones based on like how somebody lived. So I think if they were like a really knowledgeable bookstore owner or something like that, I think the game will give like a standard gravestone to somebody who's like a farmer or a fisherman or something like that. It'll just kind of be like a little piece of stone and that's it. But other people will get these like lavish tombstones. And it's a detail that I never quite could like confirm to know if that's actually how it works. And another thing too is I believe the trading post has a clock tower attached to it. I think when you upgrade it to tier 2. And for a while I thought that was tied to your actual like in like IRL time wherever you were. Like it would just kind of read whatever your desktop time was. And I don't think that's the case. But still a cool extra detail if they were to throw that in, you know? All right. The marketplace is almost done. And we're going into winter, and I forget exactly what we could sell there, but it'll be good to have some money coming in from those homes. Then that money will go towards building a shrine, which will increase happiness further. That'll increase immigration, and then we'll also focus on upgrading some of these homes. So in order to upgrade, these folks want a higher desirability and tier 2 town hall, and that tier 2 town hall requires the market that we're building now, and then we'll just stack up some wood. So that's probably what we'll do is build this, stack up wood, upgrade that, and then start focusing on desirability. That'll be like the next major adventure for us. All right, marketplace is almost done, almost ready. And I don't see a gravestone there yet, but another thing to worry about too is deer getting into your farm fields. That's such a cool thing in this game. There's such an abundance of realism for, you know, if you put down a farm field, you have to put a fence around it so deer and other animals can't like go in there and just start eating all your crops. So another very interesting thing to consider. Oh, a little bit of spoilage on berries, no big deal. 10 months of supply, excellent. And we just need a few more. Just a few more planks delivered to that marketplace. Building storage full there, okay. And we could add barrels to the root cellar too to increase storage. This thing's not even that full, almost 1,500. Well, it's 300 out of 1,500, so they'll keep moving things there. So how are we doing on food? 100 berries, 200 meat, 100 fish, 34 preserves. That's like our initial starting thing. 84 greens, 33 eggs, lots of stuff. Tallow as well. And a marketplace that is almost complete. And 2 more villagers moving in, as well as 3 more babies born. And those babies will eventually become, well, from infants to adolescent and then eventually to adult. So you never know when you're going to get more workers. 38 are fit to work, 11% educated. I think we'll need to see more education in this game too. More to do with that mechanic would be nice. Let's go ahead and assign 10 people to construction, because we're going to have a big building boom during the winter. It's a great time to be able to build in the winter too, because you can have all your farmers. Anybody who works in the food industry is probably not doing anything for the winter. Luxury taxes. All right. That's going to be from our marketplace, which is finally done. Amazing. What a hell of a town. What a hell of a game, for sure. Well, that'll do it for today's first look at all the newest updates to Farthest Frontier version 0.9.7. Can't wait for 1.0. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you all next time for more. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for becoming members, too. It's a great way to support the channel, so do click or tap that join button and become a member today, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.